Hello beautiful people, let's get started with today's look. So after cleanser, before face moisturizer, I've been using the Fenty Beauty Fat Water. I've noticed that it's definitely reduced the amount of oil I see in my face being produced on the daily, and also even out my complexion for using it for about a year now. For face primer, I went in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, and on my eyes, I used the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original. As a base, I'm going in with my Juvia's Place I Prep, I Prime, and for the eyeshadow, we're starting off with the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments palette, and I'm going to be picking up the shade Vibes. So I'm starting off in the middle of my crease and just winging that area out. I'm focusing mostly on packing this on because I really want to get that full intensity of the color, and then around the edges I'll buff it out a little bit more, just get it a little bit smoothed out. Next, I'm picking up the shade Crushin'. So I'm going to be using this to just blend out the outer edges and kind of just create like a really nice transition between that shade and the purple we had put down previously before. Then I'm picking up my Juvia's Place primer again, and I'm using a kind of more looser, if you will, blending brush, and I'm using that to carve out my crease. I didn't want like a super harsh line. I wanted something that was a little bit more softer, so that's why I'm using such a fluffy brush to carve out the crease. And then after that, I went in with a translucent setting spray, no, translucent powder, oh my god, and I went in and set that area. Then I'm picking up the shade Cute, and I'm going to be putting that on the lid. So in my Sugar Pill Fun Size 2 palette, I ended up using, by mistake, Final Boss. And by that, I meant that I looked at all the colors I had on my lid, and when I added it, I just felt like it kind of took away from those purple hues that I had. Like it was too much on the blue spectrum, and I wanted to keep like that purple intensity. So I ended up just going back into the shade Vibes, touching up the crease, and just putting that right over that shade because I was just like, you know what? Let's pretend that didn't happen. It didn't happen, y'all. Then in my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette, I'm picking up the shade New Yorker, per usual, and I'm just using this because it's close to my complexion and just getting rid of that ashy tone that I had there from when I had put down my base, just bringing my complexion back and cleaning up that area on the lid. With a makeup remover wipe, I'm just cleaning up the edges of the sides of my eye look. Moving on to the face, I'm going in with my color corrector, so I'm just going to be using this on the areas where I have hyperpigmentation and going in with a damp beauty blender, damp with water, and blending it out. I'm going to be setting it with my KVD Translucent Locket Powder. So I'm just going in, setting that because when I put my foundation on, I don't want it to alter the color of it. For foundation, I'm going in with my LA Girl Tinted Foundation, and this is in the shade Walnut. So I'd say that this is definitely like light to medium coverage foundation. Definitely something that's a little bit it's buildable, but you're not going to get like a super full coverage look from it. And I do want to say that I can happily announce and say that I am on LA Girl's PR list, so I am definitely going to be using more of their products in my tutorials because they're sending them to me, and I'm so grateful and so blessed. And like every time I get a package, I'm like, this must be a mistake. Like, you sure? But y'all, I'm just grateful, so y'all be seeing more LA Girl in my tutorials. So to contour, I'm going in with my Oma Beauty Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick in 3. For concealer, my usual Juvia's Place I Am Magic concealer in the shade number 9. I'm just gonna go in with my beauty blender, again damp with water. I'm blending out my contour first, and then I'm gonna go in and blend out the concealer. I'm just using the excess concealer on my beauty blender to carve out underneath the cheekbones. To blend out my nose contour, I'm just going in with a smaller beauty blender. So what I've also been doing, you guys have seen this in a couple tutorials, but just to explain it more, what I do is I put the contour in the areas that I want to exaggerate the most, like the end of my nose and at the top where the eyebrows are closer, and then for everywhere else I just allow the foundation underneath to kind of create like a softer transition, so it's not that harsh when I blend it out and I get that definition right where I want it the most. Then to set the lightest areas, I'm going with my chalk dust, crankcase chalk dust in the letter N, and I'm mixing that with my KVD translucent setting powder. This is still a damp beauty blender, and I just put that thin layer on it and I press it into the skin in all the areas where I highlighted. To set everywhere else, I'm going in with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Dark Deep. For bronzer, I'm going in with Colored Rain Naughty Spice. Going in with my setting spray now, and I'm going to fan off a little bit after applying it and just press everything into the skin with a beauty blender. For eyebrows, I'm going in with my eyebrow pomade from the Crankcase in dark brown. I'm going in with my spoolie. I'm just going to comb through my brows and just get the natural idea for the shape of it, and I'm just gonna go in and fill that in. So I do want to say that I've definitely been using a lighter hand when it comes to applying my eyebrow pomade. I don't know what I was doing, like I feel like I was like trying to get into it, yeah, but you know, I was putting too much. I didn't need all that. And you know, like what it was is that like I watched a makeup tutorial with Makeup Shayla, and I saw how she just dipped like the edge of the brush into the pomade and just like started, you know, going away filling in her brows, and I'm just like, why am I putting so much? Like I didn't need all that. You know, like it's one of those things where it's like, if you want your brows to be more defined and you're not really looking for a natural eyebrow shape, you're looking for more of like a super defined, like carved out shape, then yeah, I feel like then you would need more product. But for me, like right now, I just want to have defined but natural, so I've been using less product on my brows. Now I'm picking up the shade Vibes, and I'm going to be using this on the outer portion of my lower lid. Like the outer 2/3, I'd say. To cover the rest of the lower lash line, I'm going into the shade Cute. Grabbing Piggy Bank from Colored Pop. Lord, I'm forgetting names, girl. And I'm going to be using that gel liner to line my waterline. Going back into the shade New Yorker from my Amrezy palette, and I'm just using this to blend out that lower lash line, kind of have a smoother transition between the color and my complexion, and to also help with creasing. From LA Girl, I'm using their glitter in the shade, the style, Frenzy. And what I really like about their glitter is that it's so small that it's like, it kind of makes the eyeshadow look like it already had the shimmer in it, as opposed to making it look like you put glitter on top of your eyeshadow. So I love how it just looks and it just shimmers, and it was just a magical moment, and I'm like, you know what, like I really like these glitters. From Oma Beauty, I'm going in with the Drama Bomb mascara. Another thing I won a spot on the PR list of Oma Beauty from a contest I did last year towards like the end of the year. What is life? But yeah, you guys are gonna be seeing Oma Beauty products, like more of them in my tutorials as well because of that. So I'm just grateful, you know, because I've been working so long on just like beauty content, so like to actually see stuff coming to fruition, it's like I'm just so grateful. So I just have to get that out there and just say thank you for watching my videos and supporting, and I'm just grateful, y'all. I'm just grateful. For lashes, I'm going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills in the style Fashion. So right now I'm just trying to get a good idea for where I want to place it on the lid, and then once I figure that out, I'm going to put my glue on and then I will apply them. For LA Girl, I'm using their Jet Setter liquid eyeliner in black, and I'm just using this to line the areas where you can see the glue from where I applied the lashes, just to kind of have it be more seamless and you don't really see that glue. And I decided to also fill in like that front part of my lid that isn't covered by the lash band to kind of create more of a kind of like subtle transition into where the lash band is, or else it would have just ended too abruptly and looked like I didn't intentionally finish my liner or something. So for blush, I'm using the Saharan blush palette from Juvia's Place. I'm using the shade B and applying it to my cheeks. For highlight, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. Moving on to lips, I'm grabbing my Melt lip liner in the shade Edible. Because I'm going to be wearing a gloss over this, like just lip liner gloss today, I'm gonna fill in the edges of my lips, just create a transition between that lip gloss I'm gonna put on after. I'm gonna grab my lip gloss from Sugar Pill. This is in the shade Flicker. So I'm just gonna apply that on the lips, make sure I blot it. And I realized that I had put on just a little bit more lip liner than I had wanted to. So I did actually off camera blot a little bit off so my natural lip color can shine through. And I went in with more of the gloss. Then as usual, went in with more setting spray and pressed everything into the skin with my beauty blender. And here is the completed look. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye guys.